by Fabric. I was originally born in Saskatoon, moved to Meadow Lake when I was younger, went to high school, graduated in Meadow Lake, and then I've basically been in Saskatoon since then, on and off a couple other places, but yeah, Saskatoon's where I call home. So, a long time ago I was in a crew with this guy, Variety Daily, and we were just like sitting making music one night, and we were trying to think of names for what to call us as a crew, and I came up with Fabric, and he wasn't really into it, but the more I thought about the name, the more I really thought that's who I was as an artist. So it came out from working with him, but like the concept behind Fabric is that it's very universal. Like everybody on the planet relies on Fabric every day. So it's just kind of like I don't know, that kind of is what inspired it, that train of thought, I guess. So yeah, I thought of the name, kind of let it sit and resonate for a while, because I had a few other names before that, and then that was just the name that stuck. So I've been with that name for a while now. So a good way, like one thing I really like about what I do is that I make all my own beats, and I don't sample much. So the thing is like when you hear a Fabric song, I'm not sampling other people's music. It's all original composition and stuff like that. I arrange it how I want it to be arranged. In terms of like lyrical content, it's more just about like me and my life and my struggles and like whatever, you know. So I just say I'm very piano heavy. I just moved in with this guy who's got like a house full of instruments, so something that I've been doing lately is adding like actual like real guitars and real bass lines and stuff like that. Because something I feel like my music's been missing is I've made beats through Logic Pro, and it all sounds kind of electronic, like the instruments don't sound 100% real. So something I've been wanting for a long time is to start bringing real instruments into the studio. So that's something I've been incorporating more lately, which is awesome. Like when I listen to the beats, I'm really happy with where they're going. So yeah, I guess overall that's just kind of like what I do as an artist. That's a really good question, because I've been doing hip-hop in Saskatoon for, like, I started when I was about 17, right when I graduated high school, and then after that for a few years it was just kind of taking it more seriously, you know. You start doing something for fun and then you get more serious with it. So I've been in the scene for a while now, and you know, I'm not trying to be negative about the scene, but I think there's more cons than pros to the scene. I think something, like, I've worked with musicians for a long time, and I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not saying that I'm not part of the problem, because I'm not really doing anything to change anything. So take this however you want to take this, whoever's listening, is that I think a lot of musicians are focused on themselves and like what they want to do with music, you know? So it's like, I want to get to this place or whatever. So rather than like collectively working together to make the scene better, I feel like there's a lot of like individual crews or people that are chasing their own dreams. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but to build like a solid scene where everybody's supporting each other, we need to unify more rather than everybody be focused just on themselves. And like I said, like, I'm not really part of the solution, because I've been the same way. I've been just like taken over by music, and I have a vision for what I want to do and everything. So I think the biggest problem is that, like, instead of like people coming together, it's more, there's a lot more clashing, and there's a lot of talking behind people's backs and stuff like that, and it's just like people being cool to other people's faces, and then when they're not there, like having something to say about that person, you know. And it's just like, overall, I feel a lot of negativity in the scene, and I used to play a lot of shows, and I haven't played shows for a long time, and part of it is I'm just kind of sick of Saskatoon hip-hop scene, to be honest with you. And the thing that bothers me is that there's a lot of potential and talent in the scene. I mean, there's a lot of shitty hip-hop in Saskatoon too, but at the same time there is good, you know. So I think just the most frustrating thing to me is that people don't come together enough. So yeah. So I released an EP, I think Christmas 2012, But now, like, since then, I've basically been focusing on a full-length album, and I'm going to be doing all the beats on it. It's kind of just like, I don't want to put a release date on it, because I feel like with my EP, I rushed it too much. And now when I look back at it, it's not a piece of work that I'm proud of, you know? I don't go around being like, oh, dude, you got to have this EP, you know? So something that I'm doing now is just like really putting time into the music, you know, and really thinking about what I want to say, and like editing the tracks and getting the beats exactly how I want them and stuff like that. So, I mean, like I said, I'm very piano heavy, but since moving in with this guy with the instruments, like, I've been able to incorporate some guitars and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like a building process of like, I make songs all the time, but I only want the songs that I feel are cohesive and like really good to be on the project. So yeah, like I've been working. I really want to be proud of this. I want this to be something that in a few years from now I can still go to people and be like, dude, you should check this out. In terms of features, I've got Data Banks on there. I've got Filth the Enabler on there. I've got Devil Species out of Toronto on there. I've got a guy, Shane Hawken from Regina, on there. And I'm planning on getting a song with Brody and Megan Nash from Moose Jaw. I still got to get down there to work with them, but yeah, I'm gonna try and get some like singing on there and whatever. So those are the features. I don't have a name for the project, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking at trying to make like a 12-track album, so just keep on the lookout for that. And yeah, that's basically a rundown of what the project is. Another project that I'm working on is one with Filth the Enabler from Saskatoon. Dude is just like amazingly talented, and I'm very in love with the project that we're working on. We've been sitting on it for a while, and I've been trying to get a hold of the guy, and so this is like a message to Filth, like, dude, get at me. Like, we're sitting on this project. I've been really trying hard to get in touch with you, so it'd be awesome if we could get this going and get it done, man, because there's a lot of potential there, and I don't want to just sit on that. So yeah, man, and to the people, it's awesome. So hopefully it all comes together and you guys can hear it. I think for me, music is my form of therapy. Without music, I would just be like a loopy dude, you know? So it's definitely that ability to, if you're having a shitty day or whatever, to go home to the studio and maybe translate that into music or whatever, you know? But I mean, I've done music for a long time, and I think when I was younger, I really had the impression that, oh, I'm gonna do something with this, you know? And the longer you get into it and things don't go how you expect them to, it can really be kind of like a bummer, you know? So for a long time, like, especially after my EP, like, nothing really happened, you know, and I had these big visions for it, you know, and it was one of those things where it was kind of a reality check, you know? It's like, I'm getting older, I need to make money, you know, I'm not making any money with music, so now I have a job where I do make good money, but at the same time, there's a huge time commitment that goes along with that job, you know? So now I'm not able to put the time and energy into music that I would like to. But at the same time, having this job, I'm able to invest in myself. I'm able to get better studio gear. I'm able to just like step up my production quality with this job, you know? So there's a sacrifice that you have to make. So I think the thing that keeps me going is just, I mean, without music, I'd be crazy, you know? So it's one of those things where I used to think I was gonna make it, but now I don't look at music like that. I still want to be recognized, and I still want like good things to come because of this, but at the same time, I just do it because it makes me feel better, you know? So I think the thing is especially for younger people who have a big vision of making it, I'm not saying don't have that vision, because it's so important to have dreams, but you're gonna have to deal with failure along the road, and it's going to knock you down hard, and you're going to have the perseverance to kind of battle through that failure, because, you know, to be a musician, it's not going to happen overnight. So I just think to really like stick with music, you really need to be in love with it, and you just really need to care about what you're doing, because overall the chances of people making it are pretty slim, you know? So I think that's the thing that keeps me with it. It's just my really, it's just like who I am, you know? I'm Fabric, and you're watching Staxx TV.